What's going on, people? Hey ho, hello. Not a grandiose entrance, not a grandiose applause, because guys, it's still dark. It's still dark. All right. Listen, we've only been 24 hours removed from the result of yesterday, and obviously today I want to give you guys a chance to have your say and speak on the matters and I guess how you feel about the whole situation. Am I overreacting? Do you guys like, here's the thing. Before we even start, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and also be sure to hype up the video if you're watching this in the future. Links in the description, a bunch of stuff in there. I am going to send you guys later the link to pre-save my band song that's coming up on Friday. So that'll cheer me up as well. All that fun stuff. But as per usual, when it comes to the show, the call-in show, link is in there for you guys to come on in. 15, 20 minutes or so, we'll start letting callers in, and then we'll go from there. But what I guess today's topic is really for those of you guys who kind of want to come in here and have your say on what you feel about the game yesterday. And obviously the result today, we saw that Newcastle lost 3-0 against Man City, and cough drop. We're seeing Chelsea fans try to justify that, or try to use that as a means to justify how we played yesterday. And I'll be so real with you guys. I think it's pathetic. I genuinely think it's pathetic. Here's the thing. All morning, I've been seeing all types of accounts, left, right, and center, trying to justify the way we played, how we lost, and all that. But Chelsea fans, or at least the strong minority, big up Ahmed, the strong minority, are coming out here and trying to justify that Rosenior had a perfect game plan, that everything we did was perfect. If that's the case, then why did we lose? Why are we not in the final if it was such a great plan? If it was such a perfect plan? Just because you understand what the plan was doesn't, and just because it makes sense, doesn't mean it's a perfect plan. Like, it's, you know what it is, people. You know what it is. And let's be honest about this situation. And that's the other thing too. Ladies and gents, I'm not hating on these people. I'm not telling them they're not real fans. And I'm not even like trying to, you know, gear hate towards them and tell them they're wrong or whatever. It's just pointing out the opposite opinion, in my opinion, as to why I don't think that's the approach people should take, and why I don't think people should think this way. Because let's be honest, a lot of those accounts that do make that argument that, oh, this is this and that, and it was justified and all this, they're my friends. At the end of the day, we're all Chelsea fans. This is football, and we just have difference of opinions, right? But what I'm seeing from a lot of these accounts is trying to tell me that what the game plan was yesterday was justified, and that we can't go for it against Arsenal. I'm sorry. That, I think, is just absolute bullshit. Also, if we're not going to go for it, then what's the point of even playing our players on that pitch last night? If we're not going to go for it. If we're not going to go for it, then what the fuck are we doing on the pitch? Are we just going to play for a draw? Because last I checked, we were losing on aggregate. A draw means we don't advance into the next round. So what the fuck are we doing here? Also, I love how, and some of you know this, some of you have been around the channel long enough to have seen people in my chat call me this and tell me that my standards are, on the floor, that I'm not a real Chelsea fan because I don't hold up the standard. And I look at that now and I'm just like, brother, you don't understand that under certain circumstances, facts change, opinions change, and some things are more realistic than others. I'm not going to expect to win a trophy and compete for the league under the Graham Potter season. I'm just not. It's just realistic expectation and delusion, right? And some Chelsea fans, negative or positive, you guys are delusional on both ends. Let's be honest. Some Chelsea fans are delusional on both ends. And for years, I was told, oh, the standards have dropped, all this and that. And here I am trying to cry at the top of my lungs how we should have gone for that game yesterday. We can't accept just losing to Arsenal the way we did yesterday with no fight whatsoever. We basically played into Arsenal's hand. I believe the stats were we had 2 shots on target. I remember the Enzo shot from distance that kept us saved was 1, and I can't remember what the other one was. That's not going for it. That's not like, and again, people are telling me, oh, well, the game plan would have been great. I mean, just make sure you don't lose the first half and then go for it in the second half. You understand that Arsenal has set themselves up and have made and built this team so that they can go ahead and get a result and shut up shop and just park the bus and then just be good enough to get a 1-0 victory. Now, forget the fact that we lost 1-0, right? It is what it is. That was a consolation prize for them anyways. They could have done 0-0 and they still would have advanced. That doesn't matter. The fact that matters is that we didn't try to go for it. We didn't try to go for a goal. We didn't try to, bring our best foot forward until the 60th minute. And by then, they're already shutting up shop. We're already playing into their hands. They know we're desperate. They know we're going to take shots out from the outside. They know that we're going to leave space in behind. They know that we're going to go and try to cross it from the wing and play for corners. They know all this. This is what they've been doing all season. And Rosenior, listen, I don't want to harper on Rosenior. I don't want to, crash it on Liam because, quite frankly, I do like the manager. I genuinely do. I've seen what he's done at Strasbourg, and I'm a fan. I do like what he's done at Strasbourg. My only criticism is I don't think he's ready for this level. And it shows in these games the naivety to just play into Arteta's hand. Am I wrong, Ahmed? We basically played into Arteta's hands in that game.
The only way you can justify with the tactic yesterday is if it works at the end of the game. Genuinely, it had to work. Otherwise, if it doesn't work, bro, particularly in the fact they ended 1-0 to them, then it's generally disgraceful.
Yeah, and listen, if it did work, we were going to give praise. We were going to give praise, and some of us would have even held our hands up and said, wow, I really doubted Liam Delap on the right wing and Enzo Fernandez on the left wing, but you know what? You proved me wrong. And Enzo Maresca did that to us multiple times. I can't believe how many times I criticized the whole picking Malo Gusto in the lineup, especially Liverpool was the one that comes to mind. I saw that lineup, I'm like, Enzo, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, why you're picking Malo Gusto, and then the game happens, we end up getting the result, and it's like, wow, okay, well, you're seeing things that I'm not seeing. But when it doesn't work, you get criticized. It's simple as. And I'm seeing Chelsea fans look at that Newcastle result and then come out and say, see, Newcastle went for it, and look at what happened. Okay, first of all, a little insulted that you're even comparing this Chelsea team to Newcastle. This Newcastle team that is, what, 15th? I can't even remember where they are on the table. They're having a horrible season. They're not the Newcastle 11th, sorry. This is the Newcastle that are in 11th place. And you really want to sit here and compare that to Chelsea? So you think the gap between Arsenal and Chelsea is the same as the gap between City and Newcastle? So much so that you're willing to say, see, that's what happens when you go for it. Well, you know what? They were behind 2-0 on aggregate. They needed to go for it. At least they fucking went for it. And they lost anyways. Had they held a 0-0, they would have been eliminated anyways. You guys don't understand that in these ties, win or loss, those are the only results you can get. If you lose, even if you lose by 10 goals, you lost. I don't care about the result. At the end of the day, it's about advancing to the next round. Who cares about what the margin is? Is it going to count against us in the cup? So yes, when people say to me, "Oh, if we went for it, we would have lost 3-0." First of all, you don't know that. You can't predict the future. You can't know that because we never even tried to go for it. So how can you sit here and say, "Oh, we would have lost"? How do you know? How do you genuinely know we would have lost? Not to mention, this isn't PSG. It's not Barcelona. And this Man City team, even, if you want to argue from the Newcastle point of view, this Man City team isn't even the Man City team that won the treble and 4 in a row. They don't have Gundogan. They don't have KDB, Kun Aguero, Riyad Mahrez, Prime Stones, so on and so forth. They don't have these players. So am I supposed to just defend and cower and be really precautious and then hope I get a cheeky chance? Fucking go for it. You're going to lose anyways. It makes no difference to lose 1-0 than to lose 3-0 in a cup tie. So what are these accounts telling me justifying, oh, well, we would have lost 3-0? You don't fucking know that. You genuinely can't sit here and tell me you know that. And on top of that, listen, I know our defense isn't great, but you're telling me my defense is so shit that we were going to concede 3 goals to Gyökeres, Martinelli, and Nani Madueke? How many goals do they have in the league? Can these accounts tell me how many goals they have in the league? Do you guys even know who their top goal scorer is? I'm here to tell you. Gyökeres has 5 goals in the league. You want me to be scared of 5 goals in the league, Gyökeres? All right, maybe we don't need to talk about Gyökeres. You know who's the second most goal scorers in their team? Trossard, who wasn't even on the pitch, and Rice. And you want to go further down the list? Third highest goal scorer? Own goals. You want me to be scared of that attack? You really want me to sit here? Okay, he has 6, sorry. You really want me to sit here and tremble in my boots, afraid of... Ahmed, I heard some people tell me they have a dangerous counterattack. I'm sorry, can you name me the last time they scored a counterattacking goal?
You know what it is? I I don't really like to focus a lot on a personal level whenever it comes to Chelsea
Sure.
talk, because I feel like I feel like the takes that people are given are very like low IQ, or they lack context, or there's just a
True.
lot of cockery going on at the football club. There's a lot of cockery going on at the football club. Genuinely,
True.
Marshall. Like I think for me, something that has clearly changed is the mental dynamic. Like the club has genuinely buck broken a lot of the players. So a lot of our players, a lot of our fans
Fans.
have been buck broken, man. Let's just keep it real, Marshall.
Dude, I
These
can't
guys,
lie.
these guys are going hell over high water to tell you that why can't we like? I'm just asking, why can we not play the way that we did under Maraska against these guys? Is that too defensive? That's not too defensive either.
Sometimes it's ego, right? With the managers
Yeah.
having egos. Sometimes it's that.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't tell. I can't really answer that question. Really, I wouldn't know. But it's like, to me, and let's just make something very clear. I think a lot of these fans talking like this and saying all these things and justifying the results and all this. First of all, it's exactly what Igbali and Blueco want you to do, right? Like, listen, I've said it multiple times, and I'm going to reiterate it until I'm blue in the face. When these owners came in, I was willing to give them 3 years. That's give or take what they said it was going to take for them to start challenging again and be the team they want to be. So I gave them 3 years. What happens at the third year? We end up winning Club World Cup, get top four again, and then we get Conference League, right? So that shows me, okay, there's fruits to the labor. Let's see what you can do the next season. We've now regressed. We've now gone backwards, right? We're not progressing. We're not going forward. So when things change, when the goal changes, when the goalpost moves and shifts, I'm also going to change with it. Because just because you accomplish what you said you were going to accomplish in 3 years doesn't mean that I'm going to be content with just that third year mark. I'm also going to judge you in the fourth year, the fifth year, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth, so on and so forth. So some of these guys, let's be honest, are so on board with Blueco that they're doing anything and everything possible to save face and try to justify this. They're essentially doing the Blueco talking and the Blueco bidding. And some of these people I actually respect, which is a damn thing to say and damn thing to see that they're doing this. It's like you're allowed to call out errors in our ownership. You're allowed to criticize and not necessarily be anti-Blueco or pro-Blueco. Like you are allowed to have an opinion and not necessarily take a side. And it's like what you said, Ahmed. I think it's so much low IQ on social media that I don't even think they see it that way. They genuinely think that if they criticize Blueco, they're binning the project and everything is done. Or if they praise it, they're Blueco in. And it's like, that's not the way the world works. That's why I joke about a lot of these Twitter accounts and all of these YouTube people. Go touch grass. Because your grasp on reality is so far from what actually is, for you to actually think that just because you say one thing or another, it puts you in a bin of either you're Blueco in or you're Blueco out. Like, I like my platform because I can have opinions on either side. Some of you will banter me, sure. Some of you will even call me a flip-flop because you don't know what exactly a flip-flop even means. But it is what it is. I say what I want to say. My emotions change. My feelings about the project change with new information and new displays and new results. So why can't any of you guys's? I have a platform here so I can speak and get different perspectives. And listen, if you're one of the people in the chat that want to come in and have your say and call in today and actually defend the way Rosenior went out in that game yesterday, I invite you to come in here and defend it, because I am more than happy to be all ears and be proven wrong as to why that approach yesterday was wrong. But I'm telling you right now, and I put a lineup out. If I was Rosenior, if I was in that line, that coaching staff yesterday, what I would have done, and this is barring the fact that, okay, I'm being told Reese isn't available. I'm being told Neto isn't available. So I know Gittins is injured, and I know I have limited minutes in some of these players. what I probably would have done in this game was I would have stuck with Chalaba and Fofana. I think that's fine. Cuckoo on the left, Acheampong at right back, right? He is a right back. He can play right back. You can use him. We didn't use him until, 10 minutes left in the game as a right winger. He could play right back. Then you can do the double pivot you want of Moises Caicedo and Andre Santos. That's cool. You can then put Enzo Fernandez in the box crashing position, not left wing, in the box crashing position in that 10, where he has been useful, where we've seen what he can do in that position. He can be dangerous. He can create chances, so on and so forth. He's not been great, but you don't have any other options in that 10. I understand that. At left, you could have put João Pedro there. If you didn't want to put João Pedro, Garnacho. But I wouldn't have started Garnacho considering the last game and how horrible he was. But you could have put João Pedro, who has played at left wing, who has played left forward, who is familiar with that left-hand side from Brighton days. Brighton, a team that's a Premier League level team. Not like Delap, who played right wing at Hull, a championship side. 2 different levels. At right wing, then I would have put Malo Gusto in there. Yes, I know. That sounds horrible. I get it. But you know what? We've seen Malo Gusto play right wing this season under Maresca and have games where he actually looked competent. PSG, he was a right winger. So he knows how to do a shift there. He may not have been great, but he would have looked better than Delap. And then in the middle, you could have had Delap or Guiu. Pick your poison on that. But either way, you can interchange between those two, whatever you want. That formation right there is probably more comfortable for the players that I just named on the pitch, and we probably would have looked more fluid and more organized, and we probably would have looked better going forward. Am I wrong? I mean, what would you have done differently with that lineup? Because I think the lineup is a big part of what led to our shit result.
Honestly, I would just play 4-2-2. That's what you probably should have played.
Too. Yeah.
That's what you should have played. Like, I think, listen, if you have the back four as it is, I don't really mind necessarily in that one. Again, Caicedo, Santos, Enzo, and then whoever the other 10 is going to be. I mean,
could probably be João Pedro and Enzo.
You can have João Pedro and
Enzo. The other 2 pivot, you have Santos and Moy.
Santos and Moy, and then you can just have 2 strikers. Let's play Gui and Delap instead up front.
Yeah, exactly. Gui or Delap, yeah. You even had Shim. I think Shim was even on the bench. Or maybe I'm not.
Yeah, Shim Baheka. Yeah, exactly, bro. If he played 4-2-2, I just think that is a bit more of an easy and simple thing. Yeah, I just think, as I've said before, I think for me, it's so easy. It's so easy for quite a lot of people, like, to... because like I feel like we at times, because of like the situation, how things have changed in the last few years or so, you know, we've kind of like turned Arsenal almost into like you know, a beast that cannot be slain. You know what I mean? It's almost like we're doing what Arsenal fans used to do. We're legit doing what Arsenal fans used to do, which is not good either. Like I don't.
We've swapped roles. Swapped roles. We've become. Roles, yeah. We're happy with top 4, where they used to be that under the Wenger era, and they've now are seeing the importance of trophies. It's sad, man. Go ahead, Ahmed. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I mean, there's nothing much really to say, man. You know, it's the day after. You know, some people call it's like the day after. You know, you've lost the war. You know, or the day after you've just lost something, like, you know, kind of precious. You know, the reality is, man, it's a tough day. You know, the sky's grey for you, but you know what they say, man, life keeps moving on. But I always come back to, you know, I keep, you know, you run, like, you know, sometimes on Twitter, you know, you randomly come across like some random news, right? And it's obviously from the Telegraph today, which is like, Chelsea want another attacker, another midfielder, another defender, right? You know, you read that again.
Dopamine. They might feel better if they hear about transfers.
No, but like I read that and I'm like, why should I? Like I said the same thing in January. I've said the same thing even in this previous summer. Why do you keep telling us this, right? And trying to give people hope when you cannot negotiate for the best young players necessary. There's no
Mm-hmm.
point of us having this conversation and for you to let us know what we're targeting because we all know they're probably going to just be another 18-year-old with all due respect.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
don't know,
just
man. It's just
it's
right now, it's just apathy right now, man. It's just apathy.
yeah. No, I get it. We'll start with real me. What's going on, brother? How are you doing? Welcome to the channel. What are you saying, man? How you feeling?
Big up, bro. How are you?
Shitty.
Tough loss yesterday, bro. Honestly, like
100%.
after watching what Menu did against Arsenal over the weekend, I was like, maybe we could go there and get a result.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I hear it, bro. It's very frustrating. We looked terrible in the first and second half. And I think like the fact that okay, I'm looking at it from two different point of views, right? Like
Sure.
on one end, I'm like, okay, he had limited options, like you said, right? Like we had no wingers. Palmer
Yeah, I
couldn't
get
start.
that.
Esteva, we get what happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think like if I'm Rosenior, I'm thinking like if we go there and Arsenal scores first, it's done. Game is over. Like they're going to Wembley and we're out, right?
Sure.
Because now you have to score 2 goals on Arsenal and on that fucking defense at home at the Emirates as well,
It's a tough
right?
ask. Not impossible, but it's a tough ask.
It's a very tough ask. So I think Rosenior was probably thinking like if they score first, we're done, right? And I think his plan was bring on Esteva and Palmer like late, like when defenders are tired or something, and try to make something happen. But the plan basically failed. And I think like on Chelsea standards, we really lost to a rival in a freaking semifinals, and that's like frustrating.
Yeah.
And yeah, and people saying, oh, the Arsenal could have scored 3 goals, like you mentioned, bro. That attack is so fucking trash and overrated. Like literally, in the first leg, they had 2 goals that came off our goalie's mistakes, bro.
Yeah.
They had 1 real goal, and that shit was ass, bro. I'm like,
It was a jammy goal that Gyökeres scored.
exactly. That was a jammy goal, and the corner where anyways, like I feel like he had to adapt with what he had and the situation, but it's still really frustrating that we lost. And this all goes back to like these owners, Blueco, bro, because this project has been a nightmare, massive failure. It's crazy. And I wouldn't even be surprised to see Reece James and Neto fine against Wolves, bro. I feel like then maybe they didn't prioritize this this tournament, but yeah, not sure. You're muted, I think.
You know what though? Part of me is kind of embarrassed that I even believed that there was even like a chance, because the thing is, and I don't want to even sound like this. They told us they didn't care about this. When Maresca got sacked, they literally said, Sky Cava, who is the mouthpiece, right? Like anything Sky Cava says is essentially what Blueco is saying. He came out and said they're not really prioritizing the Carabao Cup. If they win, great. If they lose, it's not the end of the world. So they never cared. And you know what? We should have listened, because maybe then the disappointment wouldn't have been as bad.
That's bad, yeah.
But like, it's still like, it's ingrained in me as a Chelsea fan. I want to fucking win trophies. And,
everything, bro.
And that's one thing too. Like this season, I've been banking on, rivals and other teams like, yo, please get a result against Arsenal because I don't want them to win the league, right? And sometimes they clap back at you saying, well, why don't you get the job done? And they're right. They're right. I'm like, we're fucking Chelsea. When we go up against them, let's actually put a halt to them. And to an extent, we kind of put a little bit of a stain on their campaign when we drew against them with 10 men. But this time, they're on course to win a trophy. And I want to put a stop to that. And this is what we fucking do. This is what we fucking do. This is the display that we show. This is the result that we get. And it's just like, it's just frustrating, man. It's demoralizing, it's deflating, and it's just like goes to show, like, listen, there was a point in time in the summer after we won Club World Cup and all that stuff that I was confident that this team can go on and do things and that Blueco can build off of this. I wasn't in favor of a lot of the signings, but I said, you know what? I didn't know what the hell you guys were cooking with Palmer, and we saw you guys cooked. I didn't know what the hell you guys are doing at Esteval, and we're seeing you guys actually cook with this one.
But they're
Maybe
like
you're
2 for
seeing
50,
some.
bro.
What happened?
They're like 2 for 50.
I know,
Like
I know,
two
but
signings that were, and Caicedo, I guess. I don't know if Caicedo was Blue Co though.
he was under Blue Co. But like, there's some signings in there that you're just like, okay, you kind of got this right. There's something there. Let's see what you're cooking. Maybe there's something that I'm not seeing that you guys are seeing with Garnacho, Gittins, the Lap, this and that. So I'm always willing to give it a shot. Like, I'm not gonna, shit on a plan before the plan actually gets executed. Because at the end of the day, they have a job to fulfill. They're being asked to do something by the owners. Let's see what the plan is. So far, the plan got us a nice shiny gold trophy with the Club World Cup, 100K or 100 mil for prize money, Conference League, back in top 4. Okay, that plan worked. Let's see what this next one does. And now I let the plan play out. It's not a good plan. I'm here calling it out. I think it's a shit plan. And it is what it is.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you, brother. What are you saying, man?
Yeah, I got a question, man. I feel like
What's
yesterday, I don't know if I was not sure. I disagreed with like a lot of, some things. Some of these discussions.
Oh, this is Ogie. Paul, I got you, bro. Yeah. What's up, bro?
Yeah, we're all good, though. We're all good. Yeah,
of course, bro.
Okay,
That's just opinions.
Okay, so my thing is this, right? So, like, how would you portion the blame if there was like a blame chart? I guess yesterday, like the frustration was this was like more towards the coach or Blue Co as a whole. If you had to portion the blame, how would you do that?
Oh, it's 100% Blue Co. It's 100% Blue Co. Like the thing is the part that gets me frustrated and why I'm so like pissed off, like going into this, because like the thing is, and I said in the beginning of the show, I don't even hate Rosenior. I'm not even Rosenior out. I like Rosenior. I think there's a really good coach there. Like, to be fair, a worse coach like Gary O'Neill, some shit, we probably would have actually gotten clapped by Arsenal in the first leg and the second leg. Like, the fact that, Rosenior was even in it just goes to show that he's actually a good manager, but he's just not ready, right?
Okay.
But at the same time, too, look at the team he got. Look at the team he has. That's on the recruitment. And what makes me even more mad is y'all motherfuckers couldn't get along with the manager for long enough to just see the season out. You had to butt heads. You had to keep telling him, oh, you got to do this. Oh, but Reese, no, you can't play him. Nope. Oh, Garnacho, he's on that red line. Oh, you can't do that. No, this. Oh, we got to put the medical team chief on that line to remind you constantly that you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Bro, fuck off. And the moment Maresca walked away, that's when I'm like, yo, you fucked this season. Yeah. Blue Co, you fucked this season. Because, again, I think Rosenior is a good coach, and Ahmed can back me on this. I've seen him play at Strasbourg. Ahmed's seen him play at Strasbourg. Like we saw good football in the Strasbourg, good moments. Like there's gems of good coaching in there. But he's not ready, and you're asking him to come in mid-season in a team that is completely flustered and frustrated with their season. You're asking him to recover the season with fucking shit.
Yeah, so I just wanted to listen. I think the problem with this take isn't necessarily that it's wrong. The issue for me is that everyone knows who the original sin lies with. You know what I mean? We all know who's where the problems are all coming from, but we can't consistently go back to them and just say every time we lose, because the reality is they're 100% to blame. But we also have to be able to analyze games from a game-to-game basis, right? With the necessary, but we obviously understand like the necessary context behind everything, at least.
I agree. I agree to some extent. I think like my old issue yesterday was I felt like he was handicapped with anything he could do yesterday. Like, for example, like he gave the lineup. Like, we don't have the only 2 fit attackers we had. Like, really, we only had one good attacker. Like, just João Pedro. He's the only good one we had to. I believe to start, because we had Palmer and Esteval. There's no way they could start the games because of whatever, like family and injury management, whatever it is. So we only had really one fit good attacker, just like ignoring Garnacho. Like, I don't care about that dude, and the lap is not even in mine. So like how I said, I felt like survive, in my opinion. Maybe again, we can have different opinions on certain things, and it's fine. Like there have been like disagreements the whole since the last 24 hours, whatever. In my opinion, with the resources we had, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, survive the first half and bring in your game winners, your match winners, because the only one available was Joao Pedro, and like there is nothing he's doing at all by himself against that Arsenal defense by himself. It's almost, I don't want to say impossible, but like look at what we have. So like my thing is like, just survive. What I would have done, I would have brought on Palmer and Estevao in the beginning of the second half. Like I didn't like if I felt like that was too late. So again, it didn't do a lot of things like perfectly, but like
you might not have control over that though. Like they mentioned, like medical team literally dictates how many minutes like these players play.
Another problem.
That's such bullshit because Palmer literally played 90 minutes in the game before, and now he was available to play 30.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to not even be on the bench.
Same. I honestly, like, I was surprised he was allowed to play 90, but I feel like we needed him to play 90.
Bro,
I don't
and
think
that's
that
the other
was
thing too. Why do you need Palmer? First of all, Palmer wasn't good that game, but why do you need to play Palmer 90 minutes against West Ham? It's unnecessary.
But for who? Like I felt like that was something we had to win the game. So like
Ogie.
Yeah.
Is that's how you say your name?
Yeah, it's fine. You can just tell me. Yeah. Ogie, but it's okay.
Ogie. Yo, okay. I hear where you're saying that we were handicapped, but bro, this is Chelsea legacy, bro. This is our identity, bro. Like when we're like not favorites, we come out swinging.
We had real men though. Like we had a real, like, who is the real man really? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we had real men. Like the only real man was Joao Pedro. Like who? Like we don't. Like look at what we have right now. Like look at who started the game. Like, I
feel like Maresca would have got a result, in my opinion.
I feel like, and that's the thing, right? Like that's where I'm getting at, right? Where I get upset with Blue Co is the fact that if you had just kept Maresca till the end of the season, listen. I know Maresca wasn't doing good towards the end. The football needed to get better, and maybe it wasn't going to get better. Maybe it was actually going to get worse, and it looked like it was. Honestly, that Brentford game was very demoralizing, and I thought the curtains were kind of on the wall. But like, at least Maresca was able to work with what you gave him. Like, let's not forget, like, he wasn't a demanding coach. He wasn't asking for transfers. He wasn't really asking for anything. The only time he asked for a transfer was when Levi Colwill got hurt, and he publicly came out and said, I need a center back. Yep. Why? Because your best center back is hurt. Yeah, any coach is going to do that. But these guys were like, yeah, use what you got. And he shut the fuck up, and he used what he did. And we're seeing now, because Ahmed, like, you got to admit now, I remember when we were saying, like, bro, use the facilities that you got, make it work with what you got. It turns out he actually was making it work with what he got. Look at how he had Sanchez playing. Look at how good our defense was looking. Okay. Look at how good Caicedo was looking.
Look at Sanchez, bro.
But I think the best way...
The trust issues, though, I get that. He wasn't using that with the youngsters. I get that.
Yeah, I think my issue only with that is that, yes, that may have been true to an extent, but at the same time, I've said this before. I'm still critical, even Rosenior at this point, where I do think there are the ability to find minor tweaks here and there, right, to be able to make stuff happen, and that's why I am critical of Maresca, and even of Rosenior recently, where I'm like, some of these guys can do jobs for you in short spurts. Right, Hato can do that. Was always, in my personal opinion, have the ability to do those short spurts for you. Right, when he needs to allow Kukurea to at least rest whenever he needs to, before or after games. Right, so I don't necessarily. I think that there's a truth to a point there at the very least. Yes. But I think for me, the problem is Rosenior he's already doing the mistakes that Maresca made initially that he was able to rectify, where, the moment you get to a big club, I think you have to realize, you can't, you have to match what the big club is doing, the expectations, the way they play, the style of play, right? And because Maresca, initially, particularly against the bigger sides, as you saw, he wasn't doing too great. He'd be a bit too conservative a lot of the times, right? And so that did not really help us, particularly in his initial run of the initial run. But we didn't beat, I think, a top 8 side under Maresca, I think, for quite a while.
First season,
right? And so we're kind of already beginning to return to that position, particularly, in a period where from next month, essentially, next month, we're only facing top 8 sides, guys.
Yeah, we got a tough
But
run
that's
of
just
games after
Rosenior,
this
though.
February run. And listen, that's the thing. When I applied for the job, I tried to tell him, listen, I'm gonna build off of what Maresca has, but I'm also gonna make sure that we don't do the things that Maresca did in terms of not
What did
trusting
Bluko
the
say?
youngsters and all that stuff. Bluko told me to fuck off. But anyways, essentially, like, that's the other thing that frustrates me, right? And Ogie, you got a point. Like, it is on Blueco, but at the same time, like what Ahmed said, I can't dwell and like, I like to talk about solutions. I like to talk about what we can do in the now, and I just can't. There's nothing we could do about Blueco. They're here to stay
agree.
until some bullshit happens.
I
But
agree.
what I can do is at least say, okay, Rosenior, this is what you could probably do to get a solution here. You can probably trust this player there. And right now, it feels like Rosenior is not learning from the mistakes Maresca already figured out for you. He pretty much gave you a footprint like, bro, clear up
did
the
the hard
box
work.
because Sanchez sucks at, when the box, he makes errors whenever you do this and that. We figured that out. Keep these center backs going because the other two, Tosin, he's problematic. He's going to concede goals, yada, yada, yada. That's why you don't play him. Play Caicedo in this position. He's really dominant, and then he frees up this space. Maresca did all the hard yards for you, and you just needed to fix the issues that he had, which a lot of it came from not trusting the youngsters, and just build off of that. And you're not doing that. You're just scrapping it and figuring it out as if you didn't already have the solution there.
I will
I don't
say
know. Sorry.
Marshall, can I come in a little bit? Like,
Yeah, go for it, man.
yeah, I'm fine. Can you hear me properly? Yeah,
Yeah, I got you,
Yeah.
JC.
a few minutes. Yeah, because Maresca's history, I don't want to dwell too much on it.
Yeah.
Just 3 sentences about him. He was a fantastic manager. People still don't realize it. We will realize.
tactically.
Second thing, his head turned in December because he was on half the salary of Pochettino with 5-year contract. He wanted a
Especially at that
raise.
point.
He wanted a raise. He tried it again with the new manager. And these buggers, directors, they were penny picking. And that was the cost. And finally, Maresca's head was already not in for the whole of December. And by the time he lost his last game, we lost us, I was already on their side. If he goes, I am not going to cry about it. So I'm not going to cry about it. I'm angry at this management. They are really penny picking. He had deserved a raise. They didn't give it. And he could have gone about it in a different manner, not going through Mendes.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
So we move on from it.
Yeah.
Now, Rosenior. I saw him in Strasbourg a few games. I didn't like it. Time and again, he bottles there. He's winning, he bottles. He's in top 3, top 4 Champion Leagues, he bottles. He has a history that when the crunch time comes, he does not have the balls to do this, to take over the line.
Entirely wrong.
And he has a system where he tries to sit with 2 defensive midfielders and the back line with ball jiggling just in front of the goalkeeper and trying to get the goalkeeper as a 4th defender. And all the rest of the time, they are looking for spaces. And it's all down to individual talent and brilliance. There is hardly any other thing I have seen other than okay, let's come to Chelsea. Charlton, I kick it out. It's an easy game. Brentford, in the 10th minute, until the 10th minute, we were starting to get pressed, the 2 different defensive midfielders. We lose the ball, we concede a chance. We lose the ball, we concede a chance. On the 10th minute, there is an injury. He gets to talk to the players and he tells Enzo to drop back. He added a 3rd midfielder. We regained the control and we won the game. That was a quick thinking. And I said, oh, look, we do have a manager. Unfortunately, after that, the only thing good change of tactics or something which I've seen is that when he was throwing the kitchen sink at West Ham, all other games have been won by individual brilliant goals. His tactics are clueless until half line. He has a plan. After the half line, he has zero plan other than throwing the kitchen sink and spamming crosses. I've not seen any systematic chance creation after chance creation after chance creation. We are so much thirsty of that chances. We don't have it. We used to have a problem that our forwards are not converting. We have so many chances. Now we don't have chances with this guy. And finally, about his psychology, what I see, or school teacher people say, the first things he's saying in his first conferences, I like the players. There is no ego. What the fuck? I need winners. I need egos. He says, I behave very well. We are very down to earth, very nice people. I'm looked after. The brother didn't take charge of the first game because he needed some time to have some. Bloody hell, you are in the wars, come and fight. He took one game off because he needed more time to be with the players. And then he's saying how nice everybody is. Brother, we are in a winning business. This is not Watford or whatever club he was at. Now, once I will come back, which Maresca said, like he learned from Pellegrini. Finals and semi-finals are there to be won. You don't lose them. This guy, he is going like a scared idiot who's already cycled. What did Maresca said in the final of Club World Cup? We won the match in first 10 minutes against Paris Saint-Germain. Yesterday's game, he lost it in first 10 minutes. This manager.
To be fair, he lost in the first.
He lost it in the lineup, man. He
Yeah,
lost
that's
it in the
right.
lineup.
This guy is a loser, a bottler. Will he change? I hope so. I pray so. But what I have seen is like, Jose Mourinho came and said, like, I'm not one of the bottle. I'm a special one. This guy is one of the bottles.
He's cut from
And
the
why
cloth.
is he here? Just because the directors, he will dance to their tune.
Yeah.
Whatever they say, he will do. Because otherwise, he's not getting a job.
Yeah.
Not to the level of Chelsea or Manchester City or any club like that. He's got a job. He's landed as a job. Just because, they say in the corporate world, he is climbing the corporate ladders because that's how Chelsea is being run. But they say in corporate world, bullshit can take you to the top, but it cannot sustain you there.
That's a bar.
I'm gonna give him time, bro. Like none of the wins he's had have been like
Yeah,
convincing.
listen, time. If he wants time, go and do the under 21s. Show it's your worth there.
It's not gonna happen, though, right?
Bro,
I
but
think
yo, we're
the one thing he's
Chelsea.
doing well, right? Because I don't want to completely shit him out of the job. Like the one thing he's doing well is he's getting us winning games, which is fine. It's just not winning the
No.
important.
Wait. Let me interrupt. Joao Pedro has been winning us games.
Thank you.
That's
I think that's been
you're right.
JC is right, and I remember we said this just in the last show, Marshall. The thing that's been winning us games is individual brilliance. There's no actual tactic that's being used by him specifically that's helping us to create a consistent number of chances to help us then to score. There is no everything that we've done has been due to individual brilliance winning us the game.
Ahmed, I started with this, the positive thing. I saw that change tactic in Brentford after 10 minutes. He changed, added a midfielder, and instead of horseshoe, we were penetrating through the middle, and we won that game. Other than that, I have only seen spamming crosses and throwing kitchen sink. And you remember he beat Crystal Palace with Strasbourg. Yeah, he was winning. He bottled it, and then in the last few minutes, again the same kitchen sink, crosses. He beat Crystal Palace by spamming crosses. Everywhere he wins like that. And whenever he goes one goal up in Strasbourg as well, he sits back, parks the bus. He is a scared guy. I mean, he's never been on this level. It shows. His
I have a
press
question.
conferences show.
I have a question, JC. How much of the coach did you know before? How many games have you seen from Strasbourg?
I saw 6, and all of them left me with a
you've seen
lingering
6 games.
feeling
So last
that
season-
when
so
he
you
is one goal up, he parks the bus.
Okay.
And when he's losing, he will wait until the last 10 minutes and then start throwing kitchen sink. As if he does not know
every
any other
coach in the world,
tactic.
to be fair. So like literally every other coach. So like throwing the kitchen sink at the team when you're losing, it's everybody. It's literally every coach. So that's not nothing. So I feel like you are very.
There's no way to do it though.
Let me close it because it's quite late here. I'll just close it. What I have seen with this guy,
they throw Maguire.
just one final point.
So that's normal. So when you
Yeah,
say
the final point. What I hear from him and what the way he manages is like 90% of the YouTubers and streamers do.
okay.
He's giving kind of like, it used to be 1 year ago, everybody used to give ratings to the players. It's a team sport.
Now.
A coach like Conte or anybody, he will take 11 pieces and when he adds it up in a football game, the outcome will be more than 11.
Okay.
With this guy, it's not like that.
And how is that?
So far, what I've seen is absolutely not like that. His mojo is the directors to lick their asses, do bullshit to climb up.
I think the biggest difference I've seen from him and Maresca is in the attack. It feels like we look more fluid. I don't know if that's actually true, but like
Spamming crosses is not fluid.
But you didn't, let me land, bro. Let me land. Because we were definitely spending crosses with Neto under freaking Maresca, bro. That's a fact. Neto did.
True.
That's what he was known. That's what he was known for. But now the wingers aren't stuck on the wings. They're able to move like in and out and take other spaces on. And they move more central. And in some games, and we play more direct through the middle with Rosenior than we did with Maresca. That's what I've seen so far.
We do not move centrally in a systematic manner with the wingers. We are saying the same thing, which I'm saying is he creates overloads in one side or the other side for the wingers, and they spam crosses. And then he will have a Dilap and João Pedro, 2 tall guys trying to hit.
I think no,
Again,
I
think
kind of
you're
disagree.
overanalyzing this stuff. Like I feel like it is way too early, buddy. We've been playing games every 2 days. Like I don't know. I feel like there is not much this guy can do. That's the bad thing about this in-season like coaches. There is nothing. I don't think there's
I
nothing.
thought this was the point of the multi-club model. He's supposed to slot in like a glove. Like he's supposed to know what he's doing.
But again, yes, in theory,
Okay, Marshall, I'll drop off. Thanks a lot, guys. Yeah.
In
I
theory,
really
yes.
hope
Thank
this
you,
guy,
JC.
this horror stops
Buddy, calm
as soon as
down.
possible. If he
Calm
improves
down.
or he's sacked.
Calm down.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Ogie. Can I just step in?
Nah,
here? 'Cause,
I'm
like,
on
I think.
JC on this one. I back you, man.
No. I understand kind of what Ogie is saying, right? In the sense that, listen, he has no time to implement any tactics, right? Which is true. This is again when I point out that we are winning on the individual brilliance. That is also down to his ability to manage, right? Which we should give him credit for. It's clear that the players do want to play for him, like rightly or wrongly, right? He's using that ability to manage to be able to at least get right to motivate and. Yeah, and they did actually at times show up for Poch as well, right? So whether I agreed with that, them doing that or not, is another thing entirely dark, right? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Manager.
He's one of them.
Yeah,
The best way to
but,
call it in the UK, he's one of them likable PE teachers, man.
I
He's
told
one
you,
of them
but
likable.
either way,
he's
yeah,
a
but
counselor, bro. I said it
okay.
from the jump.
But either way,
He's
you know,
a
but
teacher
like,
that everyone likes. You know what I mean? He's a teacher that everyone likes.
yeah, but either way, like to get back on track again, he does have good management ability, right? And he's using that at least for the time being to try to get the best out of the squad. I think the only thing that I think, Ogie, and I would like to hear your point on this, yeah, is that they have said we are still pretty much playing the same style of play. We don't want to really differentiate too much on the tactics, right? And so, Rosenior, you've been training this all up, obviously at Strasbourg. When you come over to you've come over to Chelsea now, we just want you to implement essentially the same tactics, maybe a tweak here and there if you want to, but the style remains the same.
Yeah, I agree to some extent. I do think like with Senior and Maresca, they have some similar principles, but not exactly the same. Obviously, I do think like there are things he would want to do. For example, like we talked about like yesterday, there was a guy I don't know, he's talking about like Gusto inverting and stuff, similar stuff Maresca did. So some things there's like natural overlap. But I do think like truthfully, we don't have. It comes down to talent for me. Like we talk about like chance creation and like we don't have talent. We don't have, in my opinion, maybe we can disagree, like or healthy talent. Like I would say, like I think we have Palmer, we have Estava, we have some players. Like look at Man United. That's a good example. Man United, they have game win, like match winners. Like I'm saying, like Bruno, like would you say Man United? Look at the game against Arsenal. That's like individual brilliance. Konya won the game for them. Individual brilliance. You know what I'm saying? So, but we don't have that type of talent. Maybe JP is the only one we have right now playing consistently.
Yeah, like, but I feel like again we're circling back to the point that everyone here agrees with you with, in the sense that yes, the quality in the squad is not good enough. We all agree with you in that. But our thing is also that the manager should still be able to squeeze out a little bit, bro.
Games. That's like he's done. Okay, besides Arsenal, who were basically healthy, besides Saka, look at who was missing. I saw a thing where like Palmer played 30 minutes of the two legs. Regime didn't play at all. Like I'm saying, like this is what it's dealing with. Like, playing against from the best team in the league, the best team in Europe, without. Like, look at the squad we have. Like, I don't know what you guys expected. I know, yeah, we are Chelsea, which is there's the reality. Yes, we know we are Chelsea, but look at the product we actually have going against the best team in Europe right now. And look at what we have missing. If we're healthy, if we had Caicedo both games, if we had like our full 11-11, let's talk. But look at what we are missing. Like, we have to be realistic at the same time. Like, I know we have to dream. But at the same time, look at like if we had Palmer and Esteva, even start the game yesterday. If we are both of them healthy to start the game, yes, let's talk.
I hear you.
Look what we are missing. I don't know what you guys expected.
Ogie,
I hear you. Ifs like, right now, like, man.
It is a lot of ifs. Also, like they
but
said,
not healthy.
had a knock.
It's not if. Like we are not healthy. Like it's factual. You know what I'm saying? Like
everyone gets injuries though.
What?
We're not the only team with injuries.
But we are playing against a national team damn near healthy.
Bro, we don't even know that.
About this Arsenal tie, not about just against this Arsenal tie. In my opinion, like look before the last game, bodies dropping like illness. Like I'm talking about specifically this Arsenal tie. That like the rest of the stuff, whatever. Just specifically Arsenal, we played them against 4 starters.
No, we're Chelsea fans, JC. Don't worry.
Yo, Ogie, I hear you, but like we don't even know if like Neto and Reece James were truly even injured. It could have been that they didn't want them to play this game. That's the problem.
Yeah, but I can't put that on the coach. That's my thing. I feel like that's why I asked the question in the first place. Like, how do you proportion the blame? I think like I forgot his name. Sorry, Casually, the host.
Marshall. Yeah, Casually works too.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, that's why I asked the question. When I asked the question, I know obviously we all think it's blue core 100%. But like I meant like particularly against like for the last game, how do you proportion the blame? Because I hear lots of the senior, but like that brother was handicapped. So I understand. Like
I get that too.
So the right wing was him being handicapped.
I would rather the lab than Garnacho, to be honest with you.
No.
I would have been okay. I would have been okay with Malo Gusto playing there. We've seen Malo Gusto play right wing.
You're right, baby. Like,
we had Achimpong on the bench. Like there was options. Like he didn't need to do that. He didn't need to put
a back 5 against
Enzo Fernandez left wing.
Or put 2 up front. Why didn't you put 2 up front?
Or 2 up front. Yeah. If you're gonna change the formation, if you're gonna be experimenting, then put 2 strikers.
He literally the issue is like he literally changed formation against West Ham to 4-2-2. So for me, 4-2-2 was probably the way to go. It was the one that logically made stuff work, right? You could have at least had two strikers in Gui, Dalap, and then you could have had João Pedro and Enzo being your 2 10s, and then you could have had Andrew Santos and Bingy as your 2 6s.
But this is the thing, like, here, I'm gonna bring it up one more time. Before I applied for my job at Chelsea Football Club,
I got one of those.
I'm surprised you didn't get it, bro.
I had done my homework. I have seen that João Pedro can play left wing. If you wanted to play with wingers, you could put João Pedro left wing. I know Malo Gusto isn't necessarily a right winger, but against PSG, against Liverpool, we've seen him play in that right wing position and actually do a shift. You know what I mean? Like, he can do something. He would have done better than Delap. We know that. We know he would have done better than Delap.
So frustrating. I gotta say, Delap, like, you're the biggest.
Delap can barely play striker, like, let alone right wing.
You can't even hold up the play. I'm like, yo, put your hand out, bro. Like, do something because you're getting bullied.
To Ogie's point, like, I understand, like, to an extent, the manager's hands were tied, but you also got to understand, Carrick didn't necessarily walk into like a brilliant team either. Like, his hands were slightly tied with his options as well. I mean,
thank you for saying that, because we've all talked shit about that United.
Yes, we've all talked shit about United.
Long.
We've all said how bad it is. We've all known how shit it is. But Ogie, to your point, I don't think, like, Carrick is probably telling, for example, Cunha, hey, go in there. If you see a shot, take it. I didn't see Caicedo take a single shot. And you know who we're going up against. We're going up against Kepa, the same guy that we always said to every rival, do a long shot and you probably have a chance at goal. The only one that was taking long shots was Enzo.
Marshall. That was sense. Like,
so that to me tells me that's instruction.
Not to take shots?
No.
I disagree with it. Because Enzo was shitting on sight. I think even Esteva was we played against a great defense.
Big up CB, by the way, for the raid. Thank you so much. CB, big up to everyone coming from CB, 1 milli. Be sure to smash up the like button. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you do want to come into the call-in show, link is pinned on the top of the chat.
So, sorry, to counter that point, I would say, like, before, like, the biggest problem we had with João Pedro before this manager was João Pedro, he never shot the ball. But now, João Pedro shoots the ball. So, like, you can't say, we can't say on one hand, JP here was never, but, like,
more fluid.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I just think, like,
Caicedo's looked worse under him.
Caicedo has been on the downslide since the red card, to be honest with you. Like, since the Arsenal situation, like, it's been kind of off it since then. Like, I mean,
100%.
Like, I don't know, man. I just feel like against Arsenal team, I don't know what we could have done. Like, maybe, like, we could have been more offensive, like maybe 3-5-2 or like 4-2-2, whatever. But I just think his game plan was survive the first half and bring Palmares and Esteban. That was his game plan.
If that's the game plan, why do you wait till the 60th minute to bring him on?
That's the other problem I have.
I keep hearing this halftime.
Ogie, we agree on that. Halftime should have been when he made those subs.
Halftime, immediately halftime. I didn't like it. Even, to be honest, I would have got Garnacho on as well. Like,
we don't know if it was up to him, though, bro. That's the thing.
Yeah,
the thing is, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know, I think for me, my issue before I let CFC for Life talk, is that, listen, when it comes to medical stuff, I actually always gonna usually be on the medical side, because I think, listen, that with what they've done for a lot of our players, particularly the injury-prone ones, they have done a good job, Marshall.
Traitor.
You can call me a traitor. You can call me a traitor. Marshall, I've said this to you. I consistently say this, and I'm continuing to maintain this, by the way.
Chelsea players. These Chelsea players are like NBA players, bro. They get one tiny boo-boo in alpha a month.
I can't lie, man. I understand that. And, you know, as a fellow NBA watcher, there's a lot of guys, you know, we've got a lot of ADs in the team. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. But the reality is, we've actually been keeping these guys as healthy as possible and playing the most amount of games of this structure. So, like, I can't really necessarily hate on what the medical department realistically is doing. I just want to say one more thing quickly, to Mr. Ray Allen, you know, mentioning my love for Barcola. I'll keep it real. We need Barcola right now in this team. Have some respect, please.
We already can't finish. Don't take Barcola for this team. We already can't finish.
No, Barcola. Barcola will create chances. I don't know how much he was.
I would love Barcola over fucking Garnacho right now.
Bro,
I agree.
Yeah. But CSG for life. You've been wanting to say something, and I actually want to hear from you because usually you bring something to the table. What are you saying, brother?
Yeah. Can you hear me right? Is it echoing too much?
You're good, man. We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Now, what I was gonna say is because I've heard a lot of the points, and for me, I'm looking at what. First of all, we're 1-0 down, right? So it's not like we were 1-0 up. Okay. So we're 1-0 down basically. Yeah. 3-2. So we're going into the game. We didn't have to change formation. You can still be defensive, even with a 4-3-3. You can still be defensive. So when everyone, for me, I feel like Rosenior kind of he tried to be a bit too clever because he went with the wing backs. And I understand we had some players out, which makes sense. But okay, you put Delap on the right when you didn't need to do that. Where Ahmed said the 4-2-2, you should have put 2 up front or kept it the same. And as you said, put João Pedro on the left, put Delap up top, and then you maybe have to put a Garnacho on the right because then bring on Palmer in the second half. Because if you play 4-3-3 still, all you got to do, you tell Caicedo and who I forgot his name, the Brazilian Santos. Yeah, you tell them to just hold. Yeah, so you tell them just to hold. You basically put Enzo as a number 8, kind of an 8/10. So he's just in front. So you can still be defensive with a 4-3-3 or even a 4-2-2-2. So for me, I feel like he went a bit too defensive. And then by the time we got to the second half, he waited until 60th minute. But for me, it's why not start the game a bit more positive? You didn't because we're not winning. We're losing. So we have to.
That's what I said. As soon as I saw the lineup, I saw we had 5 at the back with 3 attackers, and one of the attackers was Delap at right wing. We were never scoring a goal this game.
Exactly. Yeah. How are we going to score? Exactly that. How are we going to make chances with? You've got wing backs, yeah, and then you've got Delap on the right, who he can't even dribble. He can't even cross the ball. So You've essentially got João Pedro up front by himself. That's what you've basically got.
Block me, bro. Block me.
That's what it looked like. He was just struggling by himself, and then you could see by the second half, nothing was sticking because he's tired. He was
looking at a good game, I think.
He had a good game. He did all he could.
He had a good game.
João Pedro,
yeah, he was a better player on that lineup. But that's the thing too, I would have much preferred to have gone out on the front foot rather than play into their hands because that's what they've been doing all season, right? They're trying to do this whole Jose Mourinho gimmick of get the result, get a corner, and then just close up shop. And they know Arteta. You don't think Arteta knows that we struggle against low blocks? They have the best defensive team. When we're chasing the result with 30 minutes left, that's what they do. That's what they want to do.
Pissed me off when I see
we played into their hands,
their center backs, and we're just sitting there holding the line, not pressing them at all. We're not down 1-0 on aggregate. What are we doing?
I mean,
we played into their hands perfectly.
It's not even that as well.
I felt in my opinion, like I said, I don't think we had enough to really get at them in the score.
I do. We had more shots than them. If you look at it if you look at the stats, even though we didn't test the keeper enough, right? The game. We did not test the keeper enough. But for me, they had their main outlet as Saka, even though he's not even playing well, but he was out. So for me, that was a big thing where I thought, are they really going to cause us too much problems? The other guy, who's the Belgian guy that they have on the left wing?
Trossard.
Yes, he was on the bench, right? So he wasn't even playing. So they had Madueke, Gokares, and I forgot who was on the other side.
Gokares wasn't playing. He had one touch the whole first.
Oh yeah, exactly.
How many touches did he finish the game on?
He wasn't playing either.
Yeah, so for me, we could have won. We could have done more if we went more attacking. I know, obviously, we could concede, and then it's basically game over.
That might. I feel like it might. Me, anyways. I was worried about, because we just conceded 3 goals to them the other day. You know what I mean? Like look at our defense. I felt like, for me, make sure you don't concede is the first thing. Like when you're down once, make sure you don't concede, then go at. That is how I saw it. I feel like, but you guys are thinking like go at them. But I feel like a goal, which was very, very plausible with our defense, that ended the series immediately. I just felt like hold it tight, keep it tight, then go at them. When you have
you can be balanced. Yeah, but you can be balanced. You can say the front 3, I want the front 3 to attack. Everybody else fit in, right? So you don't have to, the whole team doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to get your wing backs flying down. You can be a bit more conservative and balanced. You can kind of fill out the game, like, so you can tell the front lot to track and press. I get what you mean, though.
It would have been difficult to be balanced with the game winners, match winners on the bench. You know what I'm saying? So like we have to lean towards the defense. Again, in my opinion, we don't have to agree. It's fine. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, with
10
our
touches,
if
10 touches all game.
The game changes, we're on the bench. So it's like if you do the math, probably just survive. Then until you can bring your guys. That's what I say, because I feel like, yes, be balanced, but like look at whoever that's nobody. The main guys are on the bench. So like how could it be balanced when your best players are on the bench?
I would have put it in a similar way. I would have been defensive and then wait and then go offensive when I have my creators, Palmer and Esteval. Because if let's be honest, bro, like having what's his name, Delap as a right winger, like you're not getting a goal.
It's a waste. It's a waste. It's like a man down. It's a waste. Basically having a man down, having him on the right.
Exactly.
Nothing.
So you have to be defensive because you know if Arsenal gets one, and let's be honest, yes, their attack is not good, but they score goals, and I don't even remember the last time we had a clean sheet. Maybe Paphos under Rosenior. That's only clean sheet we have, and Brentford, but Brentford honestly could have even won that game. But so if Arsenal has scored and you don't have like your creators on, like basically you're chasing, the game becomes like
mountain
instead of like a hill, you know what I mean? If they had scored first.
Yes,
so that's how I see it, which is I think how Ogie sees that as well.
How can you see like that? I was going to say as well, before the Havertz goal, the only shot was the Hincapi shot at the 18th minute. Everything else was blocked. We knew they were going to sit back for 90 minutes. It's just that, no offense to Rosenior, but he played like a coward. He played way too cautiously when he didn't need to.
Yeah. I agree.
But like, I get not conceding, but I hear these people on social saying like, "Oh, if we went for it, we would have been 3-0 down." How the fuck do you know that? We never
Thank you.
Like, how the fuck do you know that? Because we never went for it. One,
but we lost the game anyway.
Yes, we lost the game anyways.
We lost the game.
It could have been 0-0. We still would have lost.
Yes, literally.
And on top of it too, like I just gave you guys the list of their goal scorers in the league. Gyökeres has 6 goals for them, and you know Gyökeres isn't good. Like, I understand the first leg, we weren't good defensively, but you could also pin it up to the stupid mistakes we made, like the set pieces, bro. Like, what are we doing with the set pieces? Why all of a sudden, and this is, again, criticism on Rosenior, bro,
Marshall,
why are you making it harder for yourself?
Them with 10 men.
We went toe for toe with them with 10 men. You saw how we set up and set pieces. Like, what is this manager not watching the tape? Is he not like studying the team? Like, I remember Maresca came in and said, "Yeah, I studied every single player." It was kind of creepy, not gonna lie. I mean, I'm just saying, it was a little creepy, not gonna lie. He said, "I studied every single player. I'm a big fan. I know every single biology and height and measurement and all this bullshit." He was like obsessed with Chelsea. And you could see it in the tactics and how he deployed some players and so on and so forth. And I know it was not all great, right? There was a lot of mistakes as well. But Rosenior's like, first game, you know, set pieces is what they love to do, and you play into it. Like, Sanchez's mistake comes from the fact that he can't get the ball, and there's people bullying him in the box.
That's on Sanchez, though. I blame Sanchez for that. That's not even a tactical thing. How we conceded was Sanchez's fault in the first.
But if Sanchez had more space to claim the cross, he probably doesn't make the mistake. Claimed it,
and he's really good at that.
You can, but you could say that about you're really nitpicking then. If you're really saying,
but the thing is, the thing what I'm trying to get at is that, like, what Maresca was doing was mitigating the little
their strengths.
He was just mitigating the little details so that Rob Sanchez would at least make the most of his strengths, which is claiming crosses and stuff. Like those little nitpicky details I'm talking about were the differences between Sanchez making an error and Sanchez actually being able to claim crosses and be dominant.
To be fair, he did that. Yeah, he did do it like in the second leg. To be fair,
in the second leg he did, but
in the first he didn't.
You should have done it in the first leg. If you did your homework, you would have known already.
But he made 2 errors.
Just coming in half like
he made 2 errors. I know. Yeah.
He made 2 errors. If Sanchez, because goalkeepers make that error, he shouldn't have made that error anyway. Everyone stood still, and Sanchez should have claimed it anyway. He should have claimed it. The second one, he fumbled someone crossed it in, he fumbled it, and then Gyökeres scored. That was poor. That was just all down on Sanchez.
I'm gonna rewatch this because I need a refresher. But
we lost the game.
The one with the cross, like the corner, I just disagree because if you give Sanchez the space, if you don't let them commit as many players into the box, you don't let them pull off their strategy. And I think it gives Sanchez enough space to claim the crosses. Notice how we didn't have many crosses in this game.
How many crosses has he caught the whole season?
A lot, bro. People,
that's my point.
People who are not Chelsea fans, Chelsea fans, they say like he's like a top 3 goalkeeper.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
my point.
He's really good at crosses.
My point. Arsenal didn't do anything amazing to score that goal. They didn't do anything outstanding. If you look at the goal, it wasn't anything ridiculously amazing from them. It's just a set piece. They had bodies in there, and the goalkeeper messed up. In my opinion,
and that's what we're saying. Like if there was less bodies, he would have had more space to operate in and try to get that ball. And we did it against when we had 10 men and we tied 1-1. Bro, that's what we were doing. We're sending players up. That was the first time anyone had done it.
Yeah, we had no issues with their crosses.
Their crosses, he was just like grabbing all of them easily, bro. Arsenal looked lost. And
we nullified their set pieces because of that.
Yeah, and if we had done that in the first leg, like I don't think that goal it could have happened, but like it would have like Sanchez would have had more time to operate in. Anyway,
it's a learning experience. Yeah, I think like it's a learning experience. That isn't about like this money just coming in like halfway because I don't know if he knew what Maresca was doing, to be honest. Like he was coaching his own thing. You know what I mean? So I don't think he was watching our games like the way we were. I feel like we as fans we know more about our team and our players than any other coach would. You know what I mean? So like I don't expect him to know everything like as much as in depth like we do. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
yeah, he's not gonna have enough time to know stuff. You're right. He's at Strasbourg. So how's
but
he
like again, like you get paid. You get paid enough to at least review the tape or the previous game to see what you did wrong and what you did right and build off of that.
Especially facing Arsenal, bro. The team
that's about Arsenal games.
But also, guys, like it's not just him. He has a whole coaching staff that can tell him.
Oh, I'm saying he has people that can that have
analyzed. Like that's why I'm not giving Maresca full credit for the whole set piece thing because it was probably him and Bernardo Cueva working together trying to figure it out. But he probably has the
manager has plenty of time to review the tapes. It's not like they're running around the pitch themselves and resting.
CNC for life. Just to give you the example, right? This is the first leg. Look at how Sanchez can't back up because there's a bunch of bodies there.
What does he need to back up for, though? He should be
to catch the cross. To catch the cross.
He need to back up.
What does he need to back up for? Yeah, why
does he back up so he can catch it? Look
where the ball is going.
He reaches it.
He overshot it. That was just poor keeping.
It's judgment. That's poor judgment. I think it's poor judgment.
That's poor judgment. That's poor judgment.
Yeah.
How is he going to get it if he can't get it to the right and catch it?
Go back.
I'm telling you, he looks like he mistimed it.
Look, if he stayed right there, he would have caught it. If he stayed right there, he would have caught it. But he went forward.
You're right. You're right. His poor judgment.
Missed the punch.
Yeah.
Look at that.
He looks so uncomfortable trying to get it though. Like he's obviously being obstructed. Like
but that happens every game.
Yeah, but we were mitigating that because we were giving him space so he can claim crosses confidently.
Honestly, if I'm Arsenal, I do the same shit. I don't care if you put people on the halfway
Look at this. Look at this.
No space.
Well, that's football, though, isn't it? It's contact sport, man.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. They have so many bodies. Even Cucurella's in his way, bro.
How many players are there?
I'm not gonna lie. The way Arsenal plays a grey area, but this is a gray area, man.
Literally, Arsenal's strength is look at the goal they scored against United. Literally, all they do and all they love to do is just cram space in the goalkeeper so they can't claim the ball, and then hopefully it hits a body and it goes in.
I would say like looking at the ball, you know.
Marshall, I gotta go. But thank you for having me. And
of course,
I love your channel, bro. I love your channel. I'm always tuned in, and I'm supporting you. Peace.
Thank you, man.
We'll have you back soon. I gotta go as well, but like, thank you. I always watch. Of course, man. I try when I can. Like yesterday was the first time I played like tune it properly, so like I do appreciate you getting me on today. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Big up, bro. Thanks for the support as usual. Guys, if you are watching, if you are in the chat, link to call in is at the top of the chat if you do want to come in and have a say and discuss football and discuss the game. But also smash up the like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. But what were you guys saying? I'm sorry. We were talking about this.
Like, yes, he's getting pushed, but he's a keeper. Like, push them motherfuckers out the way and come claim that shit. Like, what are we talking about here?
I understand that, but at the same time, like, there's only so many bodies, like, you can only push so much, you know?
Bro, I'm pushing my teammates. I'm pushing everybody. I don't care.
Same. That's what the
thing is, like, so then why did Maresca leave men at the halfway line?
It's for counterattack.
I think it's for counterattack, but it's also, it leaves space in the box. I mean, they were even saying that in the analysis, in the post-match analysis. Like, look at all the space they left for Sanchez.
I think that's a byproduct, though. I think it's more.
But that's what you want. That's what you want against these guys. Because what do? They always cluster around the goalkeeper. They force an error out of him because he can't claim the crosses properly.
Yeah, but
Sanchez still makes the error while we have players on the half line. Like, the same thing could still happen.
That's what I'm saying.
It could. And technically, yesterday it didn't necessarily help us.
We've seen Sanchez make errors when no one's even around him.
But there's a reason why it's been so minimal this season versus last season. Right? It's not just Sanchez all of a sudden woke up, took a rhino pill, and all of a sudden, yo, I'm hard, I'm good to go, bro. Like, it's just not that. Like setup wise, he's being allowed to now, reduce the amount of errors he's making. So there's that, and I think a lot of it has to do with himself, isn't he?
He's taking a look at himself.
Maybe
he knows. Maybe. Yeah, because think about it, he made a lot of errors last season, so he has to look at himself. Yeah, like if he keeps everything simple, like he has been doing, and simplifies his game, then everything runs smoothly. Whereas if he tries to do too much, or we give him too much time on the ball, that's when he starts to lose his head because he thinks he can dribble and do all these crazy things.
Mm-hmm. No, I get that, but like even then, like this is the stuff that frustrates me because Liam, again. You, your team, whoever you bring over, should be doing the homework and realizing, okay, what do Arsenal do in every game that makes them so dangerous? What can we do to nullify their strengths and exploit their weaknesses? That's the tactical side of the game. That's the thing that, when Rosenior comes out and say, I'm good at my job. Well, it doesn't look like it, to be honest. It doesn't seem like you're good at your job because you ain't even doing your homework, bro. You're winging it. You're showing up to class and thinking, bro, I have it all in my head. And then you take the test and you fuck it up.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He did no homework.
Yeah. And it shows with the tactics and how he's setting up. And, brother, what are we doing playing Liam at right wing? There's no need. Like, we talked about it. There's a way you could set up where, if you want to set up with the same exact formation, I don't think you necessarily need to have Liam Delap at right wing. You can put Malagusto there just for a shift, just for a halftime sustain, right? You could play a little defensive with him as well, but at least he gives you some attacking prowess on that right wing. We've seen Maresca do it. And then let's see what happened. On the left wing, you could have put
I'm gonna be honest.
Delap.
I thought we were gonna go narrow when I seen the formation. I thought we were gonna go the 2-3-5.
I thought so too.
Yeah, or the 5-3-2.
Yeah, and I was shocked to see that Liam and Enzo was at left wing too. I was shocked to see that we were playing these guys in the wing positions. Like, we're not helping our case. We're not putting ourselves in a position to create chances with these guys. These are the guys you want to be at the end of crosses. Well, not necessarily Enzo, but like Delap, you want him at the end of crosses. You don't want him to be the creator. He's not a creator. He's supposed to be a finisher. He's supposed to be a striker. So why are we putting him in that position? So when people keep coming out and praising like, oh, I think the tactic was brilliant and we held out and if we had just gone for it, we would have lost 3-0. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? We never even went for it. We needed to go for it. And we're not so bad defensively that if we go for it, we're going to lose 5-0 to Arsenal. This Arsenal team, bro, we went up against PSG, Barcelona. Like, they're much better attacks than this Arsenal team.
Trust me, if Arsenal, the last thing Arsenal would want to do is open up against us, because that's when Chelsea is dangerous, ironically.
That's true. Yeah, funny
and
enough, yeah.
They don't even, and people, and this is the funny thing, people were getting at Arsenal because how they played, but they didn't need to come out and play us. All they needed to do is just, so if we were 1-0 up, I would have expected us to be a lot more cautious and just sit back and play on the counter. I don't expect us, if we're 1-0 up, to go all guns blazing. You know, you play the game smartly, because it's about getting through to the final. It's not about anything else.
Sorry to cut you off as well. And from a tactical standpoint, it's very hard for you, especially if you set up the last couple of days to sit back. From sitting back to opening up, it's just very hard. You can't do it. Let's say if we did score in the last 20, 30 minutes, Arsenal will have time to open up and start to play attacking football. It's just not gonna work because you've gone in there with the game plan. You can't just switch up on the game plan on the spot, if you know what I mean.
Bro,
very few teams are capable of doing that.
I feel so gaslit right now. Sorry, Hassan, go ahead.
No, I was going to say very quickly as well. So that myth that Arsenal will come out to open up against us is just a massive myth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on to that too, like, I'm so glad CSC brought this up because it made me actually watch the replay of the first leg. Because let's be honest, guys, I wanted to forget that first leg. I did a lot of drinking that weekend after that first leg, bro. Hey, it was all you could drink. It was open bar. I did all the drinking I could. Trust me, I did not want to remember that game. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, we went for it and look what happened in the first leg. Brother, I'm looking at, like, when you say that we went for it and look what happened in the first leg, I'm thinking we got counterattacked, we got slapped up, we were opened up.
Jammy goes.
Look at this goal. Look at the third goal we concede. We're all in position. We just got put in a spliff. Look at how bad defensively we're putting ourselves in falling for all these tricks. And that's how we concede the goal. It wasn't even like a counterattack or some bullshit. We genuinely we weren't properly set up. They didn't catch us off guard. They didn't catch us on a counter. They didn't catch us on the attack. We were just bad defensively. So
what about the
I understand.
Goal? Have you got that one?
The second goal I saw, you're right. It was totally all Sanchez, which I already knew it was Sanchez. I knew Sanchez was at fault for one of those goals. But yeah, it was the second goal. He lets it go under his hand. That's all Sanchez. I get that. I'm not even going to deny that.
Yeah, I'm not saying him. It's just defense as well, though, isn't it? Where were the defense? I can't even remember the second goal, really, to be honest with you.
It was I got it somewhere.
Is it a cross?
No, it was, but it was low driven. This bullshit.
Oh yeah. Oh fucking hell, yeah, I remember.
So again, the overlap, no one to defend it, just bad setup defensively, but. I mean, come on. Sanchez has to get that.
It's poor.
God,
yeah, Sanchez has to get that. There's no excuses. Any day of the week, Sanchez normally has to get that. He didn't get it. And that's again, mistakes. Mistakes is what cost us in the first, not going for it.
Yeah, but was it
so don't try to gaslight
in the
me.
Box that made him drop it, Marshall? I thought is he too crowded
bro,
there?
It's not corner, bro. Goddamn, bro. False equivalency. Full Metal Alchemist, rule of equal equivalence and all that bullshit, bro.
He's got a point, though. He's got a point.
No, he doesn't. Again, it's
just poor, though. It is poor.
We lost that first leg not because we went for it. So people, don't let Chelsea fans gaslight you into thinking that we went for it and look what happened. No, that's not what happened. We lost because we made so many stupid errors on the night. And Rosenior is also to blame. From the way you set up in that corner, if you had set up the way Maresca had set up, maybe Rob Sanchez actually gets it and we don't even have that goal. The second one, obviously, Rob Sanchez-Boza moment. Not going to deny that. And then the third goal, just defensively, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Where's Moises Caicedo and all that? Usually Moises Caicedo is there to clean that up. And again, Rosenior is not putting Moises Caicedo in those positions anymore. He's using him differently. So it's like, it's a lot of frustrating things.
He was missing money in the first game.
Oh, he was. So even in that sense, you're right.
Yeah, I remember.
We didn't have Moises Caicedo, who normally occupies those spaces and cleans up those shots, right? So it's just, you know, I get it. Like I have time for Liam. He didn't ask to be in this position. Well, to be fair, he could have said no, but probably not. He would have gotten fired. But like, I know there's a good manager there. It's just annoying that you're not taking advantage of the fact that you had a previous manager that already made all these mistakes, and you're just not gonna pick up the pieces.
That's
you're
what's
trying
annoying,
to
Marshall. It's like we just went back. We just went backwards. Yeah. We just wasted the season, basically.
The season seems like a write-off now, and I hate to say that because like we're still in like FA Cup, UCL. You know, we're not. We're in a top 4 race. We'll see what happens the rest of the season, but yeah.
I was gonna say, like, what manager? Like, he's got to put his own stamp on it. Yeah. So I understand what you're saying, where you're saying Maresca basically left him the tools to kind of come in and pick up and carry on. But at the same time, he's his own man. So no manager's really going to come, unless you're an interim and you're just an any guy interim that's coming in. If you're your own man with your own philosophy, yes, he plays the same kind of style, but it's not like for like. So he's going to come in and he's going to suss the players what are good himself. He's going to go into training and watch the players. Now, he's going to go off what Maresca has done to an extent, but also he's going to put his own style to it, which he's going to live or die on that. And I feel like number one, he hasn't had much time, because people say he's had a lot of time, but if you think about it, we've been playing every 2-3 games, so he hasn't had a lot of time to really implement, but he has tried to, and some of it hasn't gone well. So for me, like, these next 5, 6, 7, 8 games are going to be kind of vital to see where he's at, because some people are kind of looking at him and saying he's not good enough, and then you've got some people that are going, which is fair, and then you're going to get some fans that are like, give him time. Whereas I'm kind of in the middle. Like, I never wanted him in the first place, but to say I think he's going to be really good, I have no idea, because he didn't. I saw what he did at Strasbourg, but it wasn't magnificent. He didn't get them into the Champions League. Now that would have been, that's when I would have took a bit of, wow, okay. But I get it. Strasbourg wasn't, they got taken over and they started to buy loads of players. But he did all right. So I don't know where his level actually is. This is the first time he's ever managed a massive club. So this is why I'm going to just kind of give him the next 10 games, and then I'll kind of judge him a bit more. Because I feel like if I judge him now, it's basically, I'm judging him for the performances haven't been great. If we look at all the games, we've come back from individual brilliance from a lot of the games, and then we've lost twice to Arsenal. The other games we've won. So then I'm looking at it like, I'm kind of in the middle. I'm sitting on the fence. I'm like, I'm not really excited because I haven't really seen anything different. And then I've seen some formation stuff, but it hasn't really worked. And then you've had to tweak stuff at half time, like against West Ham and Napoli, and then we've got results. So I'm not sure. Like, what's your opinion on him at the moment, Marshall?
I'm in a very similar opinion as yours. I have more time for Rosenior because I actually do respect what he was able to do at Strasbourg, and I know JC brought up a good point about he bottled UCL. He was in UCL positions and then started losing those final games. They were tough final games, to be fair. I think PSG was one of those games, and this is the PSG of last year. So like he had a rough run, right? Like I think 3 out of the 5 games which he capitulated, I think were teams within that race. So he did capitulate that. I'll say that. But even in the second season where it didn't look too good, you could chalk it up to the fact that so much of that Strasbourg team that he was able to actually compete in the league with had been stripped apart because of us, right, at Chelsea. But if you look at Conference League form, he finished top of the league in Conference League with above Crystal Palace, above the other teams that are in that league. So there's something like big up Dark. There's something there to at least like look at and be like, okay, well, there's something there. As for this season, though, listen, I've already given up on the fact that we're going to win anything. I really don't think we're going to. And part of it has to do with what you're saying, right, CFC, where like he's going to come in and he's going to want to implement his own style. And I get it.
Yeah.
Managers want to do that. That's what they, it's what they live for, right? They want to win with their football. They want to prove to the world that their football is better than, yada, yada, yada. And what worries me is that that's essentially what Enzo Maresca did last season when we went through that lull of December period up to February, where the beginning of the season, preseason, he tinkered. We had a horrible preseason, but no one gave a fuck because we had a brilliant preseason under Poch, and then that did fuck all for us. So preseason, he tinkered around, and then when the season came, he kind of decided to build off of what Poch had, and then slowly try to integrate inverted fullbacks and all this and that, and eventually that's when the results started to kind of get a little stinky, and the players' form started to dip. And then you notice that once that Fulham game happened, I think the players started to click a lot more and understand what was asked, what positions you want to take up. I mean, for a while, Cucurella was ahead of it. Like, he already knew what to do early on, which is why we got so many goals from Cuckoo, because he knew how to do the inverting role already. From Poch had previously done it as well. So there was a lot of the tinkering that caused us to, in my opinion, go into that run of form from December to February. And that's what worries me about Rosenior. If you tinker and you start doing that, and which he might already be, which explains just how horrible our performances have looked, then I'm worried we might drop more points than necessary. And we have important games coming up. And I don't know. Part of me feels like this is a write-off season. And I hate to even say that. I hate to say that.
And the scariest part is, Marshall, as well, a lot of the common consensus is that the managers need at least 2 transfer windows to get the players that they need to implement their systems fully. So it's
to be
kind
fair,
of like,
he got Mamadou Sarr. I don't know how much he's going to use him, but he did get Mamadou Sarr, who he's working
I know. But I'm just saying, like, if he ends up, like, with what you're insinuating as well, and what Blue Core is going to try to do as well, is like write off this season and basically play down next season. And this is the same old cycle, Marshall. We've seen it before, Marshall. You know what I mean? We've seen it with the last 3 managers, and this is the scariest part. And I remember 4 transfer windows ago.
Yes.
That where what's his name? Ornstein said that we had a 4-window plan, and where's that plan gone? It's like we constantly go, we constantly go back to square one, man. And this is what I hate about it as well. Like, we can totally see it now. Like, they've written off this season. They just want Champions League qualifications. And I already see the PR coming out saying that Rosenior needs at least a couple of windows to get the players he needs. And, it's the same thing again, top 4 finish and just compete for vibes, to be honest. And, like, are you a bit worried about that? Like, it's just going to be the same vicious cycle up until, 2033 when they ship out. Is that, like, the biggest worry that comes to your mind? Or?
Yeah, 100%. I am 100% worried that these directors... First of all, I think the solution, and I hate to even say this because, again, I'm a Chelsea fan. I want my club to win, but I don't think my club can win until these directors are actually gone. I'll be so real. They might stumble upon a victory or trophies along the way. They might stumble upon good signings, but I don't like stumbling upon signings. I'd rather just walk into them, have a good plan, and for the most part, have that plan work out. I like intent, right? So I think going off of that, if these directors are sticking their hands and noses in places where they shouldn't be, if the medical team has such a strong hold on what players can play and what players can't, like, let's be honest, guys, most medical teams, they give advice. They don't actually dictate what happens and who plays most times. It's just advice. That's why I think the Pochettino season completely scarred them, and they gave so much more power to the medical team than actually should have been given to any medical team. So it's ridiculous that, like, how did Poch injure so many players if the medical team chooses not and what? No, the medical team makes suggestions, and then the coach decides whether or not they're going to listen. And we don't run that way. We run with medical team, makes a decision, and it's final. Boom. And real quick, Steve, I know I'm going on a tangent. I think as long as that dynamic sticks around, it's going to be impossible for any manager or coach to want to work in that kind of environment. And I don't see any manager or coach sticking around long enough, even if they accomplish things and not get backed, to want to stick around here and work with this. It makes it an unworkable environment.
Totally understand, Marshall, and ironically as well, like, because the World Cup is around the corner as well, I think that a lot of these players are kind of like semi-appreciative of these medical teams that are taking over, because the last thing you want, right, is like you playing week in, week out, in the last 3 months you pull an injury before a World Cup. So for these players, it's a massive thing, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not thinking about the World Cup. I'm not even thinking about internationals. I just think about the domestics and Chelsea, and that's what any player should be doing. But the honest opinion, Marshall, is like the World Cup is also half on their mind. We can't deny it as well. Like, if you're Cole Palmer, if you're Enzo Fernandez, if you're like any of these senior players that are playing week in, week out, you can't deny that the World Cup is around the corner and it's in their mind. And you could probably, you'll start to see it as well, Marshall, where players will half-foot tackles, they won't get, fully stuck in, they'll pull out challenges. You'll start to see it over the next few months, and you'll start to realize why. And speaking of World Cup as well, I just saw, yesterday, well, I don't know if it was yesterday or this morning, that Madueke was turning out saying you should be playing to Palmer, that you should be playing in the right position if you want to be playing in the World Cup. So
I think we don't know what he said.
A lot of these players are like stirring it behind the scenes as well. Like, there's going to be a lot of I wouldn't be surprised in the next couple of months.
That's probably why Madueke left. To be honest, he was thinking about World Cup.
I know, and that's fair as well. But the thing is, though, he hasn't done himself any favor, because he hasn't scored or assisted for a whole year.
Okay, yeah.
He hasn't scored or assisted in a whole year, so I doubt Tuchel's even thinking about Madueke. But as I was saying before as well, like, this World Cup is going to play a massive factor in how these players will, quote-unquote, sit out for injuries. Like even Reece James, where was he? He was meant to play today. Let's be honest, logically speaking, if the World Cup was around the corner, he would have been playing. So
and that's the other thing that bothers me too. Like, okay, I understand Reece James is very injury prone, but we're also not using Reece James the same way we used to use him, which would require him sprinting, bombing up and down the wing, like really, really fatiguing himself and pushing himself. We play him in a position where, yes, it does require a lot of jogging, but it's not as intense and as hardcore as just sprinting up and down the line.
Marshall, I would rather have Reece James right wing than Delap.
I get that, but like, for the sake of James's fitness and stuff, like, I understand we're trying to take care of him, but one, I thought the point of taking care of him was for important games like yesterday, and two, even if he's not 100% fit to play, I think you can get away. The Maresca showed you could. I think you can get away with playing him at the center back or midfield, where he doesn't have to run as intensely, versus if you were to actually play him on the fullback position, where he could re-injure a hamstring and so on and so forth.
Marshall, he was perfect for Rossini's plans yesterday. The last 30 minutes, play him there. You know what I mean? If you're going to go all out attack, Reece James is the guy.
I mean, that free kick that Enzo and Palmer were trying to figure out who's going to kick. And I was like, if Reece was there, there's probably a shot on target at least.
Yeah, and you at least have a player that can actually run and make his way down the wing to make a cross. Garnacho wasn't doing it. Our other right winger, I can't remember who it was, wasn't doing it either. None of our wingers were actually being wingers.
Yeah. No, 100%. I agree. What were you going to say, CFC? And then we'll close it out.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, when we, under Poch, right, we had a medical team before, right? And everyone was moaning how we're getting all these players injured. Why are we getting these injuries all the time? Now, the board, what they did, they ended up getting rid of, do you remember? They got rid of a lot of the medical team. So then we ended up getting a new medical team.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, people forget this. So we get a new... So imagine being the board, the owners, and you're hearing everyone's getting injured. You think, what's going on? So then you get rid of these new the medical team, and then you bring in new guys. The new guys come in. So when the new guys come in, it's going to take them time to understand what's going on with these players, right? So for me, what I think, well, I read a few things, so it's hard to know what to believe and not what to believe. But under Maresca, apparently the medical team, because they do this for every club, but for some reason it gets magnified when it's Chelsea. But the medical team will suggest, like, if you play James for 80 minutes, he's more likely to get injured and be out for like a month, right? They'll give you something like that, right? Now it's down to the manager to say, nah, I'm going to play him 90 minutes, right? Or I'm going to play him 45. It's down to the manager. So apparently Maresca was telling some of these players to play when the medical team was suggesting that maybe they do 40 minutes or 45 minutes, which they do in every club anyway, but it's not magnified into that level where they're like in charge. No, they're just telling you what because they're specialists, right? So that's what they're saying. So apparently Maresca wasn't following that and got a few players injured. And that's obviously, and among other things as well. So now when everyone looks at it now and they say, oh, why is Reece James not playing? And why is this guy not playing? Reece James had so many injuries before, right? Now he's gonna be on a different regime, because everyone says, oh, how can this player play and then this player play and other players play? But he's gonna be under a different regime. Everyone needs to realize everyone's body is different. If me and you have the same injuries, right, you might recover quicker than me, right? It doesn't mean we're gonna recover at the same time, because we got different bodies, right? So some people forget that injuries happen, and then if you've got recurring injuries with players like James, you're going to be extra careful. You can't be then putting him. Yeah, you want him to last, so you don't want him to play for like 5 games, then he's missing for like 10, 15 games. You want him to play little bit, and then more and more, he's actually starting to play more. But I don't think he's ever going to play right back and like he used to, like bomb down.
That's part of the reason, right? Because of the injuries, right?
And CFC as well, like. Just to quickly add on as well, this is why I said the World Cup is also part of their mind as well. Like, I feel like the only reason why Reece James is complicit in this is because he wants to play in the World Cup. Remember last time he pulled, was it an ACL or a knee injury just before the World Cup or the Euros, and he had to get surgery.
No, hamstring.
Hamstring, yeah, it was a hamstring, and he had to get surgery done, and I don't know if it was the World Cup or the Euros, and I don't think Reece James wants that same situation again. Exactly, so he doesn't want the same situation again, especially where England has a strong chance of winning it with Tuchel. So, this is why I was saying to you, CFC, if this was last year, Reece James would have probably turned around and said, "No, I'm going to play." Or you would have told the boss
that does play a factor. I understand that, but at the same time, Reece understands the importance of this game, and Reece also understands the fact that he's a captain, and Reece also understands there's a trophy on the line. It's against your fiercest rivals. So I think at the end of the day, Reece would have wanted to play it anyways. And again, part of the reason, people, you need to understand, part of the reason we're playing him in a different position is to take care of his injury issues. So he's not putting himself at risk of getting those hamstring injuries again. So I do think, also, let's be honest, guys, he played 10 minutes the game prior. What do you mean he's not fit? To me, what it is that they didn't want to risk Reece James not being fully rested for Wolves because they're prioritizing Wolves. And that's the reality of it. I think Reece was perfectly fine to play that game, but if he had played the full 90 against Arsenal, he wouldn't have been available for Wolves, and the ownership think the Wolves game is more important.
But no, but okay,
they want
that could be
UCL
true.
qualifications.
No, but that could be true. But haven't we beat Wolves with like a weaker team anyway?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's what I'm getting at.
This is the ownership, man.
That's the point I'm
The
getting at,
ownership don't
CFC
make
for life.
sense.
We
what I
both
mean is-
agree. We both agree that we could beat Wolves with or without Reece James, but the ownership don't see it that way. That's
But
the way I see it.
No, but okay, but then the ownership have seen us do that without James. That's my point.
But the ownership does not
you get what I
care.
mean?
Egbali took Rosenior, even though the CEO of Strasbourg said, I'm going to quit. The guy does not give a damn. Trust me, if Egbali makes the call, it's final. Egbali,
Yeah, no,
didn't he
of
turn
course,
around?
of course.
Didn't he turn around and say, I do not care about the EFL Cup, according to what was his name again? Cover?
Yeah, the
I forgot the journalist's name.
Yeah.
Exactly, man.
Right.
So if Egbali
Lola,
does not
if they're
care,
available for
Chelsea do not
Wolves,
care.
then it's all bullshit. That's what I'm saying. If
what
there's
if
so
he's
much
not there?
pain,
Yeah.
if there's so much pain that they couldn't play, then I don't want to see them against Wolves. Rest them as well.
Yeah, that's it. Obviously, it's a strange one because
It's very strange.
this is what fans do. Yeah, fans go one way or the other. You get some fans that say, "Oh, it's all the board, and then you get some fans that say, "Oh, well, we don't really know yet." And then then you'll hear some news, and some people pick and choose what news they want to believe or not believe.
Of course.
So it's very hard to know, like, because we're not there in it, so we can only go on the news we kind of hear.
With Maresca walking away, honestly, and all the news that broke out about medical and all this stuff, like he said, she said, it's stained the trust of the club. I think now, especially the fans, they have a really hard time knowing who and what to trust, because we don't know what's PR, we don't know what's actually the truth.
Yeah,
and that's the really damning thing of it all. Like,
and the last four managers we've
ruined.
Sorry, Marshall.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the last four managers we've seen how the ownership done. They're throwing them under the bus, and they've written articles about them. Like we see them with Poch. So like we don't know the full side of the story, like what you were saying.
As long
and
as
they're doing it with Maresca as well.
Marty,
Apparently,
we'll be fine.
Like I'll give you an example. Apparently, Maresca really wanted to play players that weren't fit, but in the press conferences, he used to say, "I don't play this player because we need to protect him." So you know what I mean? It's the contradictions like that. Like apparently, Maresca never met Garnacho, and Garnacho said he met Maresca. So it's stuff like that.
And just to finish it off, Marty, I wanted to answer this question. Exactly, Marshall, was yesterday game important enough to risk James if we were going to lose anyways? Just asking. We don't know if we were going to lose anyways if James was in there. And on top of it, he's your captain. You need those elite mentalities to really push. And listen, again, who knows Kepa better than Reece James in this team? Like, he knows he's played with this goalkeeper. He's trained with this goalkeeper. He knows what his deficiencies are. You don't think Reece would have taken a pot shot here and there? And a Reece James shot is a Reece James shot. Like, I would have
played in midfield. Remember when we played them?
I would have given
Did he
myself
get
a
man of
better
the match?
chance. Yeah, when we were down to 10 men, he played in midfield and bossed it by himself.
Yeah.
Like, why not give myself the best chance to win? I understand Arsenal this season are a better team than us, but they're not prime Barcelona. They're not even Hansi Flick's Bayern. They're not even they're not this great team. Like, again, I don't want to discredit what they've done this season. If they do go on to win the league, good for them. They deserve it because all the other teams were shit. But there it is. All the other teams have been shit this season. Look at the form that Man City is in, and you tell me any other season, are they even in second place?
Nah.
These guys are dropping points for fun.
Top. Yeah, Man City would have been top long time ago.
So that's what I'm getting at. Like, it is what it is. Like, if Reece James had started and we had lost and he got injured, then goddamn, bro, that's really shitty. I'm not putting that really on Rosenior.
No, I'd rather that though. Like playing.
I don't want that to happen, but yes, I would have rather that circumstance. And it's like, well, he got injured trying to go for it. It was a derby, and it is what it is now. Regardless, our season was fucked anyways, in my opinion.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'd rather us put the eggs in the basket with the League Cup because we're in the semi-final. It's the last leg. Go full squad. But obviously, the ownerships don't match the mentality, so they're obviously going to dictate. They're going to dictate what he thinks, and I wouldn't be surprised if in the the quarters or semis or the FA Cup we end up doing the whole Delap right wing again. I wouldn't be surprised, man.
Yeah, because I heard that the prize money for the League Cup is like 100k. 100k. I don't know if that's true, but I heard if you win the Carabao Cup, it's like 100k. So it's nothing.
Hey, give me 100k in the trophy, man. I don't care, man. Give me 100k in the trophy, man.
No, but the board, you think the board are never going to take that seriously. They want the big trophies, the Premier League and the Champions League. Or the what's that, Club World Cup? Because you get like 100 mil.
But you're not going to win it with the squad that we have, not with kids. Not with Bueno, Nete and whoever on the bench, man.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I get it. And that's why it's like, it's just annoying. The situation's annoying, and I'm over it. Like, all I'm hoping for this season is just give me some good games, figure out how you want to play, figure out your system, figure out your best players, get good results, try to get us top 4, and try to see what you can do in the trophy run. But I don't have hope. I don't have hope. That's just me being honest. I don't have hope for it. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, then we'll see what you can do next season when you have a preseason.
And the Champions League bracket's looking rough as well, so we ain't gonna get that far in there.
Under Maresca, I had hope that we would do something in the Champions League because he could set us up against any team any day. Yes, he fucked up against Bayern and a few other games in there, but like he at least shown in some games he can set us up to win.
They were gonna plan to keep him for the harder fixtures, ironically enough, but they just let him go. So wasn't that the plan, like to keep him end of January and just sack him then once all the hard games are done?
I think the plan was to just keep him in general and then sack him at the end of the season. Yeah, one win in 9, Ray Allen. You can laugh all you want, bro, but this guy is also the only one manager in any of the freaking seasons we've had where this guy actually beat PSG, where this guy actually beat Liverpool, this guy actually did something against Arsenal and not embarrass himself 5-0 like Poch did, or whatever happened under Potter. I know it's not a win, but like you've seen that tactically he can get something done. And I was actually hoping we could see him against Man City to see if he's gotten any better than Pep. But it is what it is. He got sacked. We move on. And my hopes for UCL also move on because I've not seen what the hell this manager could do in these big stages. He could prove me wrong, and then we could be here talking about it and maybe hoping and dreaming. But
that Arsenal game, the way he played like a coward, man, that's just put a sour taste in all of our mouths.
100%. But all right. Ladies and gents, big up to every single one of you for tuning in. Big up to you guys who called in. Be sure to smash up the like, people, if you haven't done so already. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Always, before I forget, actually, hold on. So, for those of you who do not know, I am in a band. I am actually the singer for said band, and we are releasing a brand new song this Friday. If you do like, pop punk music and that kind of music, then maybe this is something that you might enjoy. But if you have Spotify, we are taking pre-saves for the song. So if you wouldn't mind, there is the pre-save link. It'll take you to a landing page where you can choose whether it's a pre-save with email or Spotify. You just click on the Spotify one. It'll take you to your Spotify account. Just say yes to all the things. It's just automatically giving permission for show.co to automatically like the song and put it on your release radar when the song drops. It's giving you permission to do that stuff. I'm not trying to hack you. I'm not trying to take money from you. So don't do any on that business. All right, it's none of that. So yeah. Show.co is the link to pre-save the band's new song, Snowfall. So go ahead and do that for me, please, if you haven't done so already. It would be tremendous help. We're trying to get to at least 50 pre-saves. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. But yeah, there's a pre-save link. Go ahead and pre-save the song. And we do have the raid message ready to go. We're going to raid out to Staffy TV. He is cooking Hussam because apparently Hussam said that United don't face low blocks, which...
Huh?
is baffling to me. But yeah, he's getting cooked for that, so it is what it is. But I will also take a moment to say, if you haven't already liked the video, if you haven't already subscribed to the video, do so. But also, if you are a member, big up to you guys. We appreciate it. We have 4 different tiers of membership starting at 99p, all of which help keep the lights on, which I know the lights are off right now because it's dark. But hey, we'll get the lights back on soon, I promise. But if you're a proper casual and higher tier member, we give shout outs at the end of every show, and that's going to go out to Lanre Sadiq, A. Soliman, EE, and Adrian. Big up to you guys, and big up to everyone else who's also a member. We'll be back again. I don't think I'll be here tomorrow. I might do a pre-recorded, but I might be back on Friday. I'm not sure. So yeah, keep an eye out, bell notification, all that stuff. So when we go live, we'll be back soon talking Chelsea and all that stuff, especially if big news breaks out or something. But yeah, big up to every single one of you. Love y'all. Have a wonderful night. Stay casual. And as always, peace. Or as always, stay casual.